It's Sunday. It's Mark Pires. And it's Renaissance Man. I'm here to ease my mind and help my living. It's Renaissance Man. It's the daily variety show Mark Pires Renaissance Man. I'm here to connect with you, to amplify your current state. And I'm here with you on day 1294. Joanne, 2094. Joanne says 1,294 days in a row, variety. Here kicking it with you. I've never missed a day. This started on December 31st, 2018. And I'll say what I always say. This is just getting started. You guys just need to show up. I'm here doing it. You know, got a lot of music out there on Spotify, putting a new album out. 5 feature films over on YouTube. Parodies, you know, like Superman, Batman. I'm dressed up as both, but it's Super Mark and Batmark. That's right. Got a lot of other crazy stuff going on here, but we just live in the moment. There is no script. So what we do here is literally take this second and go in every direction at once. Tonight, we're talking about a solar storm that's on its way to Earth. I'm a little nervous about it. It says it's going to be a direct hit. The last time we had a massive solar storm, it was called the Carrington event in 1859, I believe. 59 or 69, Joanne? I know, Joanne. Joanne said, if I don't know, you don't know. I know. Anyway, guys, Matt Zabrowski is sitting next to me. He's ready to give a woohoo to you. Are you ready for a woohoo? Amazing. I'm ready for a woohoo. You know, Sunday night woohoo. It's been a long weekend, you know. Here doing it. And then we get a woohoo on top of the doing it. Under the sun. Guys, I kind of want to jam on this on the beat. See, my invention. We're going to rock it. There's something to live for, yeah, yeah, yeah. There's something to die for, yeah. Oh, guys, we have a show planned for you. 30-minute mark. We do 30 minutes every single day, guys, at 10:30 p.m. Just a little late tonight, you know. Look, at the end of the day, it's a Sunday, and we had a crazy weekend. I made about 15 pizzas. 15 pizzas today, guys. I got this Bertelli pizza oven. You guys have one of these? You gotta get a pizza oven. I got this little mini thing. I could freaking throw it in the back of my car, go to the beach, drop a little propane tank, throw some little wood chips, you know? We're doing it. All of a sudden, I'm making little Bertelli pizzas there at the beach. You know, people are coming by. Can I buy one? Sure, $15. Entrepreneur, you know. That's how you make money. You're there at the beach, you're making Bertellis. You better be, you know, bringing your $50 bills. I don't have change, though. I'm sorry. You tip. You tip well. I'll give you 2 for $50. I think that's a good deal, right? These days, 2022, $50 for 2 pizzas, it's about going right. What's that, Joanne? No, I know, Joanne, you could eat 9. Something to live for. Something to live for. Something to die for. That's Zabrowski. We need a woo-hoo. Guys, we're almost ready for the show. We just need this. To live for. Zabrowski, can you give us a woo-hoo? Please just lift us up like one more level. Woo-hoo! Right? You know what I mean. Like, I don't even have to say, but right? I was here, and now I'm... level up to 10. You got that guitar out and you were playing on a 6, you know? You were just like, you know what? I feel like playing at a 6. Where the frig is my pick, Joanne? You know, you write a song last night. This is what I wrote last night. You got the skills to pay the bill. What? Yep, last night someone said you got the skills to pay the bills. I was rocking on the blues. And so I wrote this. You got the skills to pay the bills, yeah. You got the skills to pay the bills, yeah. You got the skills to pay the bills. You got the skills. You got the skills to pay the bills. So anyway, that's what we did last night, guys. We write songs here live in the moment, so give me a freaking follow. 1,294 days in a row. There's 183 songs on Spotify. Yeah! We're about to put out another album next week, and when we do it, that'll be my 196th songs out into the universe which officially puts me past the Beatles. I don't know if any of my music compares at all, but there's 196 examples by next week that you can go and say, that one's pretty good. I don't freaking like that one. Go do. What are we talking about, right, guys? Go do it. So look, we're getting into this news story. Okay, Joanne, can you pull it up for us, please? Joanne, put your smelly feet down. You know, she's got water in her feet. I could hear it splashing as she walks. Anyway, Joanne, I'm going to do the news story. This is what we got today, guys. Solar storm. What do you guys think? What do you think about this solar storm? I wanted to get Mark Wages, my brother, on to talk about this. I'm actually thinking about doing a new concept here. I want to throw at you guys real quick. Sunday nights, call-in nights, okay? I have to still work out how to get my Gmail phone number to accept phone calls here on the desktop computer. I think I should be able to do that, you know, just hook my Gmail, whatever that freaking phone, G-phone, whatever, you know, right into OBS. And then we're taking phone calls. Because right now my phone is logged on TikTok. TikTok's watching the show as well as you YouTubing it, you know. And so we really do need another way to get the phone calls in. But I want to do Sunday night phone calls so we could take a story like this, and then we could field a few phone calls like from my brother Mark Wages World, or anybody else out there who wants to get into the discussion. Anyway, let's see if we can tell you this story. If you're not on YouTube right now, head over there so you can see this. It's going to be on the screen in a moment, so you can read the words while I read it for the first time with you. Everything here is a cold read. Joanne, where am I? I was there and then there I am. Sorry, guys. I'm back. Anyway, here we go. Joanne, can we read? Can you scroll for me today? Or am I doing my own teleprompter work? You know, with Joe Biden style. He has someone there doing it. You're not going to do it for me? No, it's fine, Joanne. You just do you. What is this? That looks like a solar storm stock image. How come it looks like the sun is like freaking 6 seconds away from the, I mean, I guess it's 8 seconds away, but what is the deal? You know, leading space science experts predict a direct hit on Earth for a solar storm, Joanne. No, Joanne, there's no way for you to hide. They can't make a freaking underground enclosure big enough for you. It can cause significant blackouts to GPS navigation systems. Let's see if we can get into this story. It has been a busy time for solar activity. Back in March 2022, Earth was hit by a separate geomagnetic storm, according to government weather agencies in the US and UK. Though the geomagnetic storms likely didn't cause any harm, they brought into focus the potential harm that could come from more powerful storms in the future. Then earlier this month, a G1 class geomagnetic storm hit the Earth, causing bright auroras over Canada. The only problem is that nobody saw this storm coming until it was quite late. 5 days ago, a giant sunspot and filaments on the solar surface had astronomers worried about possible Earth-directed solar flares and coronal mass ejections. CMEs, Joanne. What's that? No, Joanne, I know you knew. She's like, I knew it. You know? CMEs could lead to blackouts, Joanne. I don't bet you didn't know that. Finally, on Friday, it was reported. Oh, you did? Oh, she said she knew that too. Finally, on Friday, it was reported that a massive solar flare had erupted from the sun, which could see blackouts, radio blackouts, that is, in many parts of the world. A direct hit from a solar storm. Now on Saturday, Dr. Tamitha Skov. I think I nailed that one, Joanne. I think I nailed it. Can you do a Facebook? You know, go Facebook and say sounds like, and then it was like Skov, like, you know, just do it real quick. Oh, thank you. Yeah, she said you were dead on. Thank you, Joanne. From a solar storm to take place on Tuesday, she took to social media to share the news along with NASA prediction model video. Oh, Joanne, look, direct hit. A snake-like filament launched as a big solar storm while the Earth's strike zone. NASA predicts impact early July 19th. Joanne, that's 2 days from now. Strong auroras show possible. Blank, what's the possible with this one? What's possible? They missed something. Strong aurora shows possible with this one. Maybe you're going to see a lot of auroras. Borealis. Ah, Joanne. No, Joanna, I wasn't asking for like a response, a conversation. I'm not trying to talk to you. I'm doing a freaking news story. You're always trying to step in, you know? So NASA is predicting by the 19th, and guys, NASA, they tell the truth. You know, they know what's going on, and they don't tell us. The amateur radio and GPS users expect signal disruptions on Earth's night side. I'll tell you what, I've been freaking seeing some disruptions here, Renaissance Man style, last couple of days. 1,294 days in a row by men. And when you're doing it, and you got a solar North Pole thing going on here with this picture, NASA prediction model. Guys, there's a NASA prediction model. Let's see what that says. Look, they have Mercury, Mars, Venus, Bepi. What the frick is Bepi? Joanne, what is Bepi? They got a Bepi in there. I didn't even know what the Bepi was. Have you guys seen Bepi? You got to head over to YouTube and see what the freaking Bepi. You know, you're there. You're tic-tacking it. You can't see the Bepi. Of course you can. You can't prognosticate the Bepi. You need to freaking go on the tuber and be like, I see the Bepi. That's a northern constellation. That's, you know what the freaking Bepi is. I'm still trying to figure it out. Scott is a research scientist at the federally funded Aerospace Corporation and an award-winning science educator on social media. Direct hit, she wrote on Twitter, a snake-like filament launched as a big solar storm while in the Earth strike zone. NASA, that sounds like Jesse Ventura. NASA predicts impact early July 19th. Strong aurora. No, it's getting a little like, I don't even know where that one's going, Joanne. Stronger. Wow, guys, Christopher Walken, you come down, finish the news story. NASA predicts impact early July 19. Oh, strong roller shows possible with this one. Deep into mid-latitudes. Oh, she explained, adding that there could be disruption due to GPS amateur radio. Wow, G2 level conditions. A worrisome tweet was followed by another post, accompanied by a video of the sun. The long snake-like filament cartwheeled its way off the sun in stunning ballet. The magnetic orientation of this Earth-directed solar storm is going to predict stuff. To predict G2 level, possibly G3. Oh, Joanne, the conditions may occur if the magnetic field is of the storm oriented southward. What's that, Joanne? No, Joanne, I know. She said dead on. Joanne, I know we're doing a Christopher Walken impression. The long snake-like filament cartwayed its wheel off the sun in a stunning ballet. Joanne, I just freaking read that line. You're doing a double-decker again. You know, like, I just want to read the story once. No, that's fine. Put your feet back up, Smelly McGee. Yeah, the magnetic orientation of this Earth-directed solar storm is going to be tough to predict. Hold on, we have an issue over here with the freaking, running out of battery. Maybe you should charge the phone first, Joanne, before I start the show. So then when I'm doing the show, we don't get a 20% warning. Low battery. I got a low battery. Try to do the news. Oh, Joanne, you're good for nothing. She's good for nothing, guys. I'm sorry. 2022, I know we're supposed to, give the benefit of the doubt, because we're still not sure what she, he, D, we're not really it. Sometimes we're trying to figure it out, Veruca Salt style, shouldn't have blueberried it, now it's the heart, though. Humongocarditis. It's not our fault. She's the one who trusts Dr. Fauci. I trust the science. That's what she kept saying. I trust the science. You went and got 70. How many did you get, Joanne? 54. She's in the books, Medical journals, the heart still pumping. I don't even know how. What's the size of a freaking Buick? That's why we have a GoFundMe page, trying to see if we can get someone, to donate a heart after maybe an accident or two. Oh, look, this one, we could put a double heart, together, fit it in the freaking cavity of Joanne. Just to make it, live. I said it. Make it live for a little longer. Oh, she said she can go with her. You can make her live a little longer, Guys, just so you know, Joanne is not real. Anyway, let's keep going. With the sun now in an active phase of its 11-year solar cycle, incidents such as these are expected to increase. The question now becomes how harmful they are really. Typically, they can cause significant blackouts to GPS navigation systems, which could end up disrupting journeys for small aircraft and ships. Other than that, however, there is not much to worry about. Okay, so Joanne, what happens if you're navigating a ship? Right? You get a solar flare storm deal down and you're doing, like you're trying to do a Descartes. You're trying to see if you can navigate the globe, Magellan style, Mark Magellan, if you didn't know. Future Mark. I'm from the year 2769. That's a future episode. Literally a future episode we're going to get into. Guys, so look, I guess we got this guy with his feet. Does this guy have toenail fungus? Probably. He probably does. And that's Kornikova over there doing it. This guy, look at he's shaving his freaking back of his head. What are they? Imagine if you... Okay, I got to tell you a freaking story. All right, so I'm... Okay, I got to tell you a story real quick. We call this a night. So I'm a freshman in high school, and my brothers and I are three... I'm a brother, I'm the youngest, and... when I was a kid, my grandfather used to cut our hair, One time he actually snipped my ear a little bit, my grandpa. This is my grandpa right here. And that's my grandma. And let's see if you guys can see over here on TikTok. That's my grandpa, my grandma. I'm the one in the middle there at the bottom with a little... mischievous grin and a little suit on, a little red bow tie. My big brother Michael up there next to my grandma, and my brother Matt next to me. 3 M's. And we're all the children of this awesome guy right over here with the saxophone, if you could see it. You guys can see it over here, but TikTok's not really getting a good view of it for some reason. Anyway, oh, there you go. So up there, my father's playing the saxophone, my uncle with the accordion, and my other uncle with a guitar, who still plays guitar very well. So my grandpa used to cut our hair, snip my ear a little bit. And as we got older, we're like, we could do it ourselves. We don't really need to go down. So like we'd go to the barbershop a lot, but then there were times you're just like, I need a little, like those movies you see back and they just like, yo, I need a fade. You gonna hook a brother up? And like, yeah, man, get over there. I'll do a fade. So we had these freaking the wall, WAHL. You got the trimmer and you're trimmering it, right? And so you're like, hey, can you do me a favor and just cut this down a little for me, trim it out? And so we always use the 3. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There were 7 attachments. We always used the 3 because you'd get like this. This is like a 3 right here, guys. Okay. I'm dealing with a 3 right now. Okay. And so I go to my brother, Michael, hey, can you do me a favor and give me a 3 and zing it out? You know what I mean? Cause it was getting a little overgrown. Yeah, no problem. Guys, this is like week 2 of freshman year in high school. Okay, mind you. So my brother goes, yeah, sit down. I sit freaking down. He goes, and I go, what does mean? He forgot to put the freaking 3 on. He went with the bear tag, just bear. I had right over here, just look, it's like still gone because of it. Yeah, that's my brother who did that way back when. That's not really, it's just me getting older. But I think he shaved this entire thing and I had this shaved down. It went up like 2 inches right here on the side of my head for like a month. And I was like, I wasn't going to do the whole head that way because there was no way I wanted to shave my sides. I thought it would look so weird doing skin like so I just dealt with this big freaking thing on the side shaved up. Oh my goodness, it was hilarious for like 2 weeks. If I ever do a TV show where like I get to do like my life growing up, which is probably a goal at some point, is to do like more than the stuff I create, all these little comedies of things I thought of when I was younger, but to go through my experiences being bullied, making comedy out of that could be great. I was bullied for a full year in 7th grade, and it's very, it's traumatizing what I went through, but at the end of the day, I came out the other side stronger because I had a freaking savior by the name of Mike Green. And Mike Green was a very good friend of mine. He wasn't my best friend at the time, but he sure freaking acted like an angel from God. And he would be the only person, who would step up and fight me. 2 guys beating up on me in 7th grade who were basically men. And I was just this little puny kid in 7th grade, all the way until senior year. I was small. And so in 7th grade, I get beat up every day by these 2 guys, thrown up against lockers, punched in the stomach, punched in the arm. I had bruises all over my body. And I never told my parents. I was so embarrassed because I couldn't fight back. I was just so afraid to fight back. And the story behind it is it's crazy how this happened, but it's the first week of school. Actually, I'm sorry, it was the first day of art class. And we're in there using calligraphy. I can remember this as clear as day. We're doing calligraphy the first day, 7th grade. And as I said, I was small. And I see these 2 kids picking on this kid about my size. Literally. He's really small like me. And I'm like, guys, leave him alone. I said, hey guys, leave him alone. 5 words. Hey guys, leave him alone. And for the entire year, these guys, they literally said, okay, we're going to leave him alone and we're going to beat up on you now. And after that, that was it. Every single day, all day, I was living in fear. If we had the internet then, ooh, man, I don't know how I would have done. Because I knew at least I can get away from it at 3 o'clock every day. Every day I'd be in it. Every day I'd be living in fear that I'd come around the corner and run into John Bruno or this other guy, Frank. I can't remember his name for the life of me anymore, but Frank Rama. Oh, my brother was when my brother had this guy's brother was in the same grade as my brother, and he knew him. He was a bit of a chooch. I remember my brother telling me that when he finally found out. So I'm getting beat up every single day, and the only thing I had as a savior was Mike Green. I literally had this hope always that Mike would show up, and it's the only hope I had. And I'd be in the hallway, and it was to the point where the entire wing would stand around in a circle and watch these guys beat the friggin' hell out of me every day. I'd show up, and they'd be standing in a circle laughing, just waiting to see me get beat up in between classes. And I never cried. I just took it every single time. I cried a freaking lot, or not in front of people. But I freaking took it. I'd go into class, I'd walk out into the hallway again, get beat up again, all day, every day. For about 4 or 5 months. Finally, I think something happened where this is the only thing I can imagine at this point. I'm pretty sure the principal found out, and I'm not sure how, but the principal found out. And I'm pretty certain now, in my 40s, that the principal called these 2 kids' parents and said, if this continues, these kids are getting expelled from school. They're not going to be able to finish school. They'll just be on their record forever. You can't beat up on kids. I mean, the bullying thing wasn't a thing back then. It just happened. That night, the same night that all this went down, my parents found out. So my parents found out, the principal, I assume, because I had this whole confrontation with my parents that night and my brothers. They were shocked that I was getting beat up every day and I didn't say anything to them. And I'd come home and I'd put a smile on and I'd pretend it's fine. And then I'd go back living in fear the next day. And so I get home. My oldest brother starts saying stuff like, this is how you fight back. Tomorrow, you're going in with this lock in your hand. And before the guy could even push you, you're just going to freaking pull your hand from behind your back. You're going to pop him in the face. And when he hits the ground, because he'll hit the ground when you hold this thing in your hand, you start kicking this. I swear, you start kicking him in the chest until he spits up blood. I'm like, I start crying now because my brother's like telling me to freaking beat the freaking hell out of someone and make them spit up blood. All right, this is real. And I'm like freaking out. I was like 12 years old, 13 years old, guys. It was crazy. And he's like, you kick that guy in the chest until he spits up blood. And he starts getting really, really passionate about what he wants me to do to this guy. And I'm like, holy freaking cow. But somehow he drummed me up to a point where I was like, all right, I'm going in tomorrow and I'm going to fight back. I went in the next day. I had the lock in my hand. I walked in and the entire wing standing in a circle. I remember clenching that freaking thing in my hand. I was so nervous. I can't hurt people, so this is one of the hardest things in the world, but I also couldn't go another day without freaking breaking, you know? So I grab that thing and I take it out, have it by my back, and I'm ready. I'm just ready for them to do what they did every day, which is to come right up, push me up against the locker, and start going away at me. So I'm standing there. Manny Montalbano, one of my best friends at the time. He sees John and Rich come walking down the hall. And he says, "John, you going to beat up on Mark again today?" One of my best friends. Smiling on his face, too. He's like, "John, you going to beat up again on Mark again today?" Like, they couldn't wait. These people couldn't wait. And he goes, "No, we're done with Mark." My hand, like, all of a sudden went from, like, ready to freaking... And it's weird because all of a sudden I was like, "No, come and push me. I want to freaking pound your face in." But he said, "No, we're done with Mark. We're going to move on." And, like, all of that pent up, fear, and it all just disappeared because I assume the principal scared these kids in some manner. But it was the weirdest thing. I was scared, and then I was so upset that I didn't get to let it all out in this kid's friggin' face. About 2 years ago, after I told this story, I've told it a few times now to you guys, someone in the chat said, maybe if you had gone through with it and they had pushed you up against the locker and you did take out that lock, which was wrapped in your fist, and you pounded that dude in the face, there's a good chance you wouldn't have been able to stop. There's a good chance you would have killed the kid. There's a good chance you would have gone to jail that day as a juvie. There's a good chance your life would have been changed forever in that moment. There's a very good chance that it went exactly the way it was meant to go, Mark. And with that observation, with that note in the chat, whoever it was, you amazing family member who said that, it all full circle came back, and I realized I did get everything I needed out of it. I did get the full release out of it. The experience is there. I'll always be able to reach in, and I'll feel how vulnerable that was to have no control over defense and just know that you are at the whim of some brute force that you can't stop. You're just too small to stop the force. But I do want to share again. I got to go back because I didn't get into it. This is usually the best part of the story and what is the comedy of the story. When you're overwhelmed, David versus Goliath scenario. I truly believe throughout your entire life, there are guardian angels that are walking the earth ready to protect you and ready to help you through anything if you're open to it, if you're willing to ask. And it's usually somebody you don't expect. Mike Green was not the person I expected would come out of the freaking crowd and fight on my behalf in order to make sure I didn't get beat up by two guys. But I can remember, like I said, there were a lot of times Mike Green was not there. And all I could hope and all I did while I was getting beat up is look through the crowd hoping to see Mike Green. But I'll tell you what, on those times that I was getting my freaking stomach pounded in on by these two guys and they're smiling as they beat the hell out of some puny kid, every once in a while, I'd see Mike Green come freaking flying through the crowd, pushing people. I'd see like backpacks and people doing this. And I'm like, Mike freaking Green, like it's a freaking freight train, coming through that crowd, pushing people out of the way. He grabs one guy, throws him against the locker, grabs the other guy. He's punching this guy, he's punching that guy. And I'm like this. And Viking Mike Green, one guy against two, because he was a freaking man too. But he was there for me when no one else was. I love Mike Green. To this day, is my freaking brother. Oh man, it's so great. I wrote this out on Facebook. I should find it. The whole story. I'd love to see how it... And Mike Green's a friend of mine on Facebook. And I wrote the whole story out as like a note and to thank Mike Green, because I was reflecting on that experience in my life, you know. And Mike responded and he said, man, I had no idea that had such an impact on your life. I was just a stupid kid helping a friend. Mike freaking Green. Something stupid to help a friend is the guardian angel of existence, that he didn't even understand that he was a guardian angel. He didn't even understand that he was tasked with protecting Mark Pires. It's powerful when you can step back and realize how much of an impact everybody has on your life. Mike Green. I gotta catch up with that dude, you know? I gotta have him on for an American conversation about this whole thing. It'd be so amazing after all this time. He's in Pennsylvania, I believe. And with Get to Know America, I really hope some producer comes along, because honestly, I haven't had the time to continue it lately, but I'm just still hoping some producer sees the first 6 episodes or something like that. And it's just like, this is cool, dude. You got to get back out there and do it. You know, we got a group of people, and you go out on the road and freaking keep going, because I want to go to Pennsylvania. I want to start catching up with people that I've met in my life and have American conversations with them. I want to travel the country, and I want to meet with authors and just, I want people that have made a difference without even being known, and shine a light on them. Have a conversation about what made them do what they did, and how that little impact that they think they made actually is going to change existence forever. We're only here today because we've managed to continue this flame that the previous generations haven't put out. We're dealing with some evil forces, as I'm sure you guys all know. And they don't want the world we know and the world we have today to continue. And the world we have today is already not the world we should be living. They've already changed what made this country so amazing over the last 60 years to the point where it's almost unrecognizable. And we're here doing our best. We're here trying to figure out how to get to tomorrow every day. The information keeps changing. And we're the ones who are conspiracy theorists. When you believe something is true and the world tells you you're crazy, and then you wind up being the one who was right, and it's freaking crickets, that's 2022 for you. When the actual studied minds of the world who've done the research and looked at the data, outside of the corporate shills who are taking money hand over hand from these pharmaceutical companies, the actual doctors and scientists who care about humanity, when those people are completely squashed from existence during a 2-year period, when the most important people to hear from are those people, that's the Twilight Zone 2022 we're living in. I would take the world of Mike Green and wondering if he's going to come through the crowd, or if I'm just going to get freaking beat to the ground by those 2 guys on a daily basis. I would take that over this let's destroy the world experience we're going through right now. Like, I get these weird feelings that, like, you know, history may just have been created for for our enjoyment, and so we're like, oh, wow, all those things took place, and they probably did. I'm not saying they didn't, but we could be in the very, very last chapter of existence right now. Many things took place. I was realizing this, that I don't know if this is accurate, but the Bible says that when there's peace, and I think when the church is in Jerusalem again, something like that? Now, is that the embassy? I mean, 7 years after that happens, we're going to the end of the world. I mean, we're only 3 years in after that happened, right? When did Trump get the embassy into Israel or into Jerusalem? Or is it Jerusalem or Israel? In Israel. Because I feel like that is the start of that 7-year period before this whole freaking thing falls apart. It's like happening every day. We have a president. I can't get into the politics of it. Can't. All I can say is this. We are all human. We're all allowed to have our opinion on what we see. And when we only see one perspective, because that's only the one perspective they let you see, then you, as a human being, a free human being, are allowed to use your common sense. You're allowed to look on outside sources, get a freaking VPN, look in Australia on the news, look in Germany, look all over the world except for the United States of America and get your news. Okay? Don't go and look on CBS, NBC, fake news, CNN. VPN it. Okay, and just go see what else the world is saying about us. Someone said that, I got you, I think. This freaking fly on my face. Did you see that? Man, I'll tell you. No, this is the fastest fly in freaking... Joanne, can you get me my chopsticks, please? That fly landed right here on I slapped myself in the freaking nose. Now it says all they are is dust in the wind. Mark Della effect. That's right. Yardbirds knows about it. Guys, when you're dealing with a Mark Della effect, you're bound to get into it. I wanted to tell you guys something pretty cool. So I've been doing these little news stories you probably have, seen on TikTok like crazy. Every single time I see something, I put it out now. And on YouTube, I'm dropping them there now. Every time I drop one on TikTok, I'm freaking dropping it right on YouTube right away. Okay. And this is crazy. The Elon Musk one I put out, last time I checked, 2,600 views in 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours. I don't get any views for my content, but we're getting them on the reels, on these shorts. So I'll just keep dropping that crap. Let's see what we have here. Ben Affleck I just put out. That only has 10 views. Okay, so there's the Elon Musk has 2,500 views, almost 2,600 views. There's only one comment on that, but Dave Chappelle, I put out something about that, 1,600 views. Jack Knight died at 28. Just curious what the frig happened there. 1,900 views. Joe Biden returns from Saudi Arabia, 1,000 views, a little over. Bobby East stabbed to death, 1,100 views. So, I mean, look, they're not getting a lot. Kodak, 1,900, but that's still a lot better than we get typically. But it is interesting to me that, like, okay, this is a good story. Elon Musk almost entrusted his entire life savings to a freaking professional gambler who's former professional gambler. You know what I mean? Like, that should have more than 25. How about 25,000 views? YouTube. I've never had them give me that many views for anything, but 2,500 is a good start. Let's see if they'll pop that up. I got to say, here's another positive I want to share with you guys because of the shorts, I believe. In the last few days, because we kind of stalled for a little while, the last few days we've gained about 60 subscribers, okay? And we're 6 subscribers away from 10,500. So I want to thank you all on YouTube for joining the show. And remember, this is the longest running show on earth. We're going to continue to join you every single day at 10:30. I mean, we just do a half hour. Right now I'm 39 minutes in because I told you the story about Mike Green. I hope you guys realize that being bullied is not okay. If you're being bullied in any part of your life, you could be bullied as an adult, okay? You just have to think about the scenario you're in. Your boss could be bullying you. Your friends could be bullying you. Your spouse could be bullying you. You have to understand the way you're being treated and understand that you're unique. You are amazing, and you don't deserve that. What you deserve is to get the most out of this existence because we only get one time through. Everybody always wants to say that there's this afterlife. I don't know what happened before I'm here. There's a very good chance I won't know what happens afterwards, at least in the form of Mark Pires. So the reality is I have one opportunity to make a difference. I get one chance to leave a mark, so to speak. And so I'm going to show up every single day of my life. Been here 1,294 days in a row, and I hope that you'll join me tomorrow. We're just 5 days away from 1,300 days in a row. So, until then, you got to go away. Oh, yeah. Guys, we wrote a ridiculous song last night. You gotta pay the bills. What is it called? You got the skills to pay the bills. The reality is, if you do believe I do have the skills to pay the bills, do me a favor and donate to the show in some form. Whether that's buy an album, which I have 14 of them, the newest one's coming out, I think this week. I keep saying it, but it's got to come out. I sign each one. I send it out to you. You can go to markpires.com for that. You can go to Spotify and listen to all the songs for free. Head over to YouTube, subscribe. 5 feature films. They're parodies. If you want a good laugh, there's no swearing at all in this show. You can watch with your kids. You can watch with your parents. You can watch with your grandparents. Watch with freaking anybody you want at all. And be prepared to put a pee pad underneath, because there's a very good chance you're dropping a little, a couple little drops there. You get it in, because it's a freaking funny thing. Live improvisation. I love live improv. You'll see if you watch a couple of these movies that this thing gets crazy. And we don't know what we're going to do ever, and that's what I love about the Renaissance Man show. It's a live creation show. We're just getting started. So, until tomorrow. Let's see if I can say goodnight to each and every one of you. Of course, I didn't get my show open while I am in the middle of doing it. Joanne, again, fail. Joanne with the fail. We gotta get a better Joanne. Can we get a Joanna? Maybe we could add an A, Be better off. Maybe get no wheeze. No, Joanne, do you have a cousin that doesn't wheeze named Joanna? I may have to create her. I'm just saying, because I don't really want to deal with that anymore. Guys, just remember that anytime I'm talking to anybody in the freaking studio, just a figment. We're just here having some fun, okay? We have to create some entertainment. We got to get a little back and forth. Jawing. We're jawing. Me and Joanne, we're doing it. We're jawing, She's wheezing. Anyway, Anna Trejo, Kathleen Danford, Keith Henry, my brother. He's got leeches on standby, guys. If you're looking for the extra long leeches that are made of palladium, Keith's got those in stock tonight. Keith, we have to talk about our game plan going forward. Are we going to get the organic leeches? They've been talking about that in the streets. Jacqueline Grace, you are awesome. Modoc Bruffstock, thank you so much for your donation. I love you so much, Modoc. I can't thank you enough. You continue to support me, and I freaking love you. You're amazing. I wrote a song for Modoc one night. You guys gotta go check it out. It's awesome. It's on one of my albums. Modoc Bruffstock. It kind of works at this. My Strange Roads, love you. I'm so glad you're here with us, and I hope to see you tomorrow when we do it all over again. Sarah, normally you rock. Texas Lady, you rock. Trish Killian, you are amazing. It looks like Sweetie Marie's kicking it with me. I do have the light's really low on TikTok, so it's hard to see. Trek Gunner, my brother. And let me see who else is here before the battery dies on my phone. Holy cow. You know what I mean? We're here doing it. I literally am down to like 2% on this phone. Let's see. Let's just see. Yeah, 5%. Well, I think we got enough to be able to at least say. Tell me who's on. So if you are here on TikTok, just say goodnight real quick. I see Jumpin' Jerry. How are ya? So guys, appreciate you killing and grilling. Oh my goodness, guys. I hate leaving you. Kathleen Danford, I hate leaving you, but we have to make sure. And my MJ Mama, we have to make sure you're excited about tomorrow's show when we do it all over again. It's going to be an early show tomorrow, not 10:30, guys. Not 10:30. It's going to be a random time, so make sure you... how can I tell you? I'll try to drop on TikTok when I'm going live. I'm going to try to go live early tomorrow. It may be like midday for half hour, like 3, 4, or 5 o'clock, something like that. But I'll try to send you a note. Tomorrow's a special day, so I'll be getting the show out somewhere midday. Until then, it's Mark Pires. And It's Renaissance Man.
You got to go away.
Till tomorrow, family and friends. Till tomorrow. Love you.
Go away.
Yeah. See you tomorrow, fam. See you tomorrow.